Summertime is an especially busy time for cow-calf producers across the southern plains. Of course, one of the big chores is haying and getting that hay in the bale so that we can feed it next winter. And if we have fall calving herds, we're probably at some point in time already have weaned the calves or soon will wean the calves from the cows. And then we've got to take care of those young calves as well. But one of the chores that I think we sometimes let kind of fall through the cracks in the summertime is making sure that the minerals are out for the cow herd and being consumed at the recommended level so that we get the kind of intake that we expect and those cows need. I think that you really want to take the time to monitor, keep track of how many sacks and how many pounds of mineral you took out to a particular pasture, how many days it took for those cows to consume most of it, how many cows are in that pasture, so that you can calculate whether they're consuming, say, just 2 to 3 ounces per head per day, or much more than that, or much less than that, and so you can make some adjustments. This is especially critical if you're putting out one of the medicated mineral mixes, something that might be recommended by your veterinarian for the prevention of anaplasmosis. And while we're on that subject, we want to remind you that very soon we will be under some new legislation that requires us to work with our veterinarian before we can put out any kind of antibiotic containing feed or mineral. It's called a Veterinary Feed Directive. And if you'll work with your local veterinarian, they can help you work through that situation. You also want to think about where you're putting these mineral stations. I would try to have one out available for each 30 pairs, or say certainly a maximum of 50 pairs per mineral station. You can put them in areas where the cattle are most likely to be loafing around in the summertime, in shade areas, close to water sources, where they're more likely to run into those mineral feeders, utilize them, and get the minerals that we need. If you're getting intakes that are just a little bit too low and you'd like to see if you could boost them up just a little, if it's a loose mineral mix, you might consider mixing in 5 to 10% soybean meal, a flavoring agent to help encourage the cattle to consume it. In some cases, you might have mineral mixes that are too much per day. They're taking in too much mineral, and you can cut it by just adding salt in the same way, increasing the salt content, diluting the amount of mineral that they're consuming, and plus discouraging intake. By doing these things, keeping track of the mineral intake, I think you'll do a better job of getting the proper amount of mineral into the cows all summer long. And if you'd like to learn more about mineral supplementation for beef cattle, I encourage you to go to the SunUp website. That's sunup.okstate.edu. Look under show links, and we'll put a link there to an excellent extension bulletin written by Dr. Lawman here at OSU. It's called Vitamin and Mineral Nutrition for Grazing Cattle. It's E-861, has a lot of information about mineral supplementation that can really be useful to you this summer and in the future. Hey, we look forward to visiting with you again next week on SunUp's Cow-Calf Corner.